have toast with butter, with peanut butter in the morning. But listen, we're here. Check us out at Convos with Malik.com, convoswithmalik.com. You can check us on Spotify,
Stitcher, Podbean, Instagram, Con W Malik.
Facebook page, Conversation with Malik. Like us, share, YouTube, subscribe,
That's
Apple
right.
iTunes.
That's right.
Tell somebody about us. We need your clicks. We need your likes. We need your shares.
Right.
That's what we need.
We need your stories too. Also, if y'all more than welcome. All our listeners, viewers, y'all more than welcome to, send us an email. Let us know if y'all have a friend that's going through something, or maybe even entrepreneurs that have businesses.
Yes.
That want to, promote their business and talk to us at least about their struggles and what they're going through. And
Yes.
We could all chime in on different topics that we put together as well.
And talk about something, something meaningful.
Something meaningful.
Something
exactly.
insightful.
Mm-hmm.
Something encouraging.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about,
We've done a lot of interviews.
Yes, interviews in here. Yes.
But we're going on 2 years, and we've done a lot of shows, a lot of interviews. If you scroll through Podbean,
Sometimes I'm even shocked about the amount of interviews that we've done, and we even brought people here that didn't really ever interviewed before, and with through the result of this, kind of opened up doors for them.
No, that's very true. They're all over the place.
They're all over the place,
and they didn't even want to do it.
And they didn't even want to do it.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then we feel good about it. It's always
I don't know, man. I think we should start we should start getting some residual. Because there's some people that's all over the place, and they came on us and they weren't really, and now they're out there popping, doing all kinds of things.
Yeah.
How does that go, man? We're here with Nico. How you doing, Nico?
It's a pleasure, guys. It's a pleasure.
Let's introduce him before we really start.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
He came in and gave me a hug. I like that.
Yeah.
That's dope. You always give me hugs.
Well, listen, back to the people who have, we see them doing something. What do we get out of it? How does that go?
I mean, listen, we went ahead and took the liberty and the honor to actually bring individuals on our show.
Should we get 5%?
I mean, I think we should get at least 10.
At
least 10.
You know what, guys? I actually get that motion, but if I might say so, just the fact that you guys set the platform, and then these guys are actually capitalizing just on itself, just speaks volume, because they themselves know where they're at. It's part you guys and also their effort. So eventually, if they're good peoples, they'll find their way back with a contract and say, here's thank you.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I mean, the monetary part is
isn't everything.
No. The monetary part is the eventual, as things go forward for them. But when you think about it all, I mean, who knows this would have been the way it is anyway.
No
And then
doubt.
for it to take off where other people are, I don't want to use the word benefit, but from the platform, they're able to make something of themselves
No doubt.
in areas that, as you say, they didn't think about.
No
So
doubt.
no matter how successful or not successful, they'll always remember this platform because it started here. And that in itself is a big check.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That's right. Well said. Look, we were talking and we wanted to get on this topic, and you said, you was like, I had somebody who I think will want to come on and talk to them about coming on.
Right.
What constitutes keeping a child from seeing his Now, there's nothing like a woman scorn.
Absolutely, yeah.
When a woman's fed up,
That's right.
then
That's right.
there ain't nothing you can do about it. Right?
That's right.
Now, woman's fed up. Goes both ways. I understand women are emotional beings.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I get that. They make decisions more based off their emotions than we do. In general.
Okay.
It's not case by case because there's some guys that are very emotional, a little too over emotional. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you?
Right.
You know, are you what's up with you? What you got in between your legs, right? But I understand when people say, and I haven't had that experience, but I've seen it. I've seen it in my family. I guess a woman feels like that's her tool that she could use to hurt the person that she feels is hurting her. But what do you think is their motive, what makes them want to keep the child from the father?
Jeff, you want to chime in?
I mean, I don't think it's fair. One thing I could, if that parent, father is detrimental to the child, then 100%, because he should not see him. Because let's say
he's detrimental, right?
Right. Let's just say, for instance, the father's on drugs or something like that.
Gotcha.
Or maybe he's he's just not a person, not so much not positive, but he doesn't have the right people around him. He has, let's just say he has drug dealers around him.
Okay.
I just think that in a case like that, it is safety for the child.
Or he makes a lot of false promises.
He's
always letting the kid down.
Right.
Tyreek, I'm gonna come pick you up. I mean,
never shows up.
After the 10th time, as a woman, you gotta be like, okay, you're doing more harm than good.
Because now it's scarring the child. It's scarring the child.
But that's not always the case, Nico.
Let's kind of like take it back a little bit. As far as the woman scorn and father and mother, this whole thing, it's all a mess. It's a mess from when it first starts. It starts from when boy meets girl. That's really where it starts. For me, I believe a lot of men, based on the people they communicate with, and maybe before that, not getting too deep, just the upbringing in the household and what was projected as what a young boy and what to be expected as you grow up, how you deal with when you do decide to get into that area. Because most of the things we're always told out, go to school, get an education, and get a good job, but it never says, when you get a good job, you get married, and this is what's expected of you. So in most cases, that never really ever happened. But for most of us, we freelance. When the relationship starts, it's never about the substance, and that is the breakdown right there. You see, all that other stuff is the after. When we become bitter with each other, we were never good from the get-go because we didn't read the pages. We didn't read the pages.
What does that mean?
Read the pages? Like anything, we look with our eyes. We say, "Oh wow, he's a nice looking guy. Oh yeah. She's a great looking gal.
She got a nice booty.
Yeah, all the aspects. So it starts from there, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The problem is 99.99% of us, depending on the environment we come from, we don't bother to read the pages because we're just about, wow, she's amazing, she looks good. Yeah. And vice versa, she's like, look at him, look at where he drives, or, look who he's associated with, or whatever. All these different material things, which was always projected on all of us in our color environment.
Yeah.
So from there, as things progress, if you slip one night, and then, a child is produced, and let's say both people consent no matter what, that we meet each other for the first time or not, or whether we do like each other, right off top, we have issues down the line because there's some things that we didn't foresee. And on top of it, you know what they say, it's like when you buy a new car, man, no matter how expensive or beautiful it is, if you didn't really check out the maintenance policy. Yeah.
I was wondering where he check out. No, that's deep.
That's deep. he is making a point.
Yeah.
So you basically your point of view with this topic is
We can't say the woman is bitter and anything like that. As far as what it constitutes is consistency in a man is what he's supposed to do is a given. The problem is, how could he be consistent when in the beginning he was never about anything much of value in the first place in his direction? So, and then afterwards, a whole slew of mess comes up. So it's not the woman, it's not the man, it's the mentality from the beginning. You see, we could always go on and on about what you did, how you should have did, and absolutely, when things come, like you go to work and you're always late, and when you show up and your boss says to you, listen, man, this is your 5th time, you know what I'm saying? What's your response? The moral of the story is, you have a job to do no matter what, right? So regardless of whether you know, you didn't know, you didn't like it, you're supposed to. If you're not around, I believe the woman has the right, being that she's always the one with the kid. If you're instinctively just denying your position with that child for the wrong reasons, such as, oh, she's dealing with the next man, F that, or whatever negative, or you're in a line of business that don't allow you to really bring that type of close-knit situation to you because you could do more harm than good, then I can understand.
But I never ever agreed with a woman using a child as a tool.
Oh, absolutely not.
Or
yes.
bargaining chip
yes.
in the relationship.
I never agreed with that.
Yeah, never.
And I
There's no wins. There's no wins.
I mean, listen, man. Why would you want your child to be unhealthy?
Yeah.
To grow up with a void.
Yeah.
Because first of all, you're not gonna get the guy back doing this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and then if you're not getting it back, especially, when I talk to brothers, when they say that they've been through the most with their child's mother, is when they hook up with another woman.
Oh yeah.
Or they get remarried.
Yeah.
They be like, that's when all
that's when it all breaks loose, and the child suffers. Because my thing is and I commend all the women that no matter what, even if the child is a deadbeat, because there are some women out there.
The father's a deadbeat.
The father's a deadbeat.
Yeah, they still hey, listen.
Hey, listen.
Well said.
Yeah. You
I take my hat off to them. Love them.
I'll take my hat off for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They still focus on the right thing.
Because, like, I think you mentioned, like, women are emotional people. They're more emotional. And a lot of times they still feel deep down inside that eventually the child would wake up, the father would wake up and clean up his act. And I commend those women, but there are some good fathers out there.
Yes.
There are some great fathers out there.
Totally.
All they want to do is
be a part of
that child's life.
Yeah.
And I don't think those fathers should suffer because of the result of
the broken relationship.
And it's not fair. And you know what? What I'm hearing a lot these days too is that, and I'm thankful that I'm not going through it. I'm hearing a lot that sometimes it's not the mother.
Yeah.
It's who comes in the life of the mother, the new person.
Absolutely.
Which
is sinister. Like, wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah. The new dude. Yeah. Because the new dude always thinks the baby daddy is a threat to smash the skins again.
Right. And
children's father, and they feel that they could be a better father, and they just like, he's not handling his responsibility, and that they think that the relationship with the father is kind of tainting what he's trying to do there in the household. It's a real delicate situation.
It's a very delicate situation.
Yeah.
It's a delicate situation, but to add to that, you see, it is okay for you being the figure in the house, but it's not for you to dictate whether or not the father should be around or not being around if the father is a decent individual. Because some people, no matter whether the father is decent or not, it's just a communication, which the mother the child,
Absolutely.
and be respectful whatever relationship they will have. The thing is, if the father outside, he's more than likely weak too. Not all men. And instead of focusing on the nature of the child, he's too busy worried about the man in the house, and the man in the house is too busy worried about both. Everybody's worried about everybody. Yeah. So things can get in a mess.
Because we're men, we're territorial. You know, we're like, you know, we pissing on our territory. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's not an easy. You know, I'm telling you, man, this is why.
I mean, the world.
Less than fortunate, and me and Tracy had 4 kids.
Yeah.
Because you know, I'm just not. My wiring is a certain way.
Yeah.
And those situations would be tough for me.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for anybody.
Those tough. Another dude being in a house with my daughters. I might take my kids from my ex-wife.
I mean, I think
I would be like, yo, you got to give me my daughters, man. I just don't. I'm just talking about me.
No.
And I'm pretty sure I would. So maybe that's just not a reality I had to accept. Because now my youngest daughter's. That's probably not something that I'm ever gonna, have to experience unless.
Because at some point when she become 18, she can make the decision on her own whether she stays.
Where she would stay.
Whether she stays.
I can't imagine another dude around my girls.
Growing
up.
Malik, and what you're saying is very important. And one of the key things to what you said is from the get-go. You and this young lady, the mother of your kids, basically made a pact in the most important part of both you guys' lives is to, this is what, if for whatever reason, we will not have in our time, unfortunately, the whole family aspect and what's important is drifted like miles apart.
Wow.
And
wow.
So it's not really about like I said, it's togetherness, man. It's communication on. That is the breakdown.
That's where it starts.
It starts with self. That is the breakdown of this whole family thing, is that everybody's missing the point. And the most important person in the room is that child.
And I can relate to what Nico was saying because, I'm from the West Indian background. And you got some mothers that live here in New York, and the father is in Canada somewhere.
Yeah.
And they still in this marriage.
Yeah.
And they still find a way to kind of be able to be close to their children and being able to see. And even if the mother have somebody that comes into their lives.
Yeah.
Just like Nico said, I'm guessing I don't know if it's just a West Indian thing, but he just said they sit there and play dominoes together.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. No, that's dope when everybody can get along.
But why?
Because I saw my father and his ex-wife. They got along. We used to always be around each other.
Yeah.
Now my wife's parents, I can't remember. They got divorced. I can't remember.
That's how long it's been. I think
I remember one time in the last maybe 15 years that they was in the same room together, and it was like real awkward.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's
and they spent 25 years together. 30
look,
years
man,
together.
look. Human beings are what you call unexplained entity in the way they behave, you know, and everybody got a story, you know. Sometimes when you actually get a person who really sit them down and talk to them, when you know, when that other person's not there and they really like open up, they're hurting. Everyone is hurting. They're just going about it all the wrong way.
Different way. Yeah.
Everybody wants to give the representative, and the representative.
Everybody deals with their hurt.
Yeah, you know, it's like that guy. He just, you know, wears his fur coat, but you know, you got to deal with what's underneath, man. You know, your presentation.
I mean, that's what it all
I didn't sweat that much.
I deliberately put that out there.
Yeah, I would say on this topic before we move on to the next.
Yeah, sure.
I would say, sisters, and if there's any brothers that's keeping their kids away from the sisters being spiteful, everybody should work together because it takes a village to raise a child.
That's right.
Totally.
So,
Totally.
let's not deny the children of as many people as possible, as many sides of the family as possible. I get some people are undesirables and you got to make decisions for your child based on the environments that you want them in.
Yeah.
But overall,
be
mindful of the fact that the kids need as much love. Some of the same things I said to my son. If when his football coach said it, he would listen to his football coach. But we're saying the same thing.
It's a delivery.
You just got to hear it from somebody else.
And it's a delivery sometimes. Delivery.
Yeah, I think it all starts with that.
Another thing too, a lot of the effects. Next topic. But a lot of the effects is also there's that underlying economic reasons as well. Yes. You know that really is the core of the turmoil.
Civil court.
And what I would say to you is
family court.
That money plays a part. Now, I would say in all fairness, there's a lot of times, you know, we all important because we're too busy pointing fingers and all that other stuff. When you communicate and you say, hey, listen, I know I'm supposed to give you $50 every week, but I'm only able to afford 10. And, you know, I understand what the needs are, but I'm going to make sure I pick this up in X amount of time, whatever. And she says, no problem. And
in
then,
some cases.
And I'm saying we have to communicate.
Right.
And when you get to that communicate part and you just say, listen, I'm not trying to avoid taking care of my kid. But what it is, listen, I know I'm supposed to give you 50 every week, but I'm only able to afford $10 because of X. She might agree, and most decent women, they so many different reasons, but the moral of the story is when it all comes down to it, no matter who's wrong and who's right, if a father is unfit, he has to be a threat to the kid based on where he's at in his life as far as, you know, the things that he's doing, you know, with himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because not every guy that spit out a baby, being able to have a baby, is ready to be a father. Absolutely. Period. So what constitutes a kid not having, you know, a mother saying no? To me, it comes down to the best interest of the child, but it can't be anything prejudiced towards the father, like, oh, he's off with someone else, or all this other nonsense. It has to be where, you know, the law is looking at him funny, or he has some mental issues that she might find out about. You know, things of that nature is understandable, but outside of that, absolutely not. You're not allowed to keep the kid away from the father. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And we're gonna move on to the next segment.
That's right.
Next segment. Couple minutes. Death of Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
Listen.
Man.
We've had this is like the 4th overdose.
Yeah.
That we've done.
4th one. Yeah. Yeah.
And these guys are rapping. You said Justin said that was his favorite rapper.
Yeah. Justin said that was his favorite rapper. And
21 years old.
Yeah, that actually shocked me. You know, Juice WRLD was a talented rapper and singer. His career just taking off. And he suffered a seizure, man, in the Chicago Midway Airport.
As a result of drugs.
As a result of drugs, you know.
Your body can't take but so much of this stuff. Walking in the airport, you think, yo, I'm high, I'm feeling good. Mm-hmm. You become addicted. Drugs are addictive. Mm-hmm. You do something over and over every day.
Yeah, it becomes a part of you.
It becomes a part of what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And these guys aren't taking breaks from it.
Right. And his family is breaking silence on the death of the 21-year-old rapper, you know, shedding light on his battles.
Really?
Oh, okay.
And his fight to help others. So it's tough on his family. It's really tough. And I never really was a fan of his music, but a lot of the kids liked him.
Yeah.
They liked Juice WRLD.
And he was singing and rapping about
getting high. He was talking about drugs.
He talked about drugs.
He talked about drugs a lot. And despite he did, I mean, you know, with these kids today, you know, some of them emulate stuff like that.
And think about these record companies. These record companies is putting this stuff out. I mean, seriously? Mm-hmm. But I get they're gonna put out what sells, regardless if it deteriorates the social fabric and undermine the culture of you know, and undermine. But my thing is this: music, regardless of the record,
right?
You can put it on YouTube or whatever it is. If it streams, it streams.
Yeah.
But that's not the case in his case. In his case, record company stuff out.
Yeah, he was signed to a label.
Don't they have a responsibility to?
Well, they're in the business to make money.
Especially that we're dealing with a prescription drug crisis in the country. They don't have a responsibility.
Yeah. What sells, you know?
They need to be held accountable. It's a shame on you.
I don't really know too much about this Juice character because I'm not really into the latest music. Some things might be catchy. We're too short and, you know, back there, you know. But as far as saying the record company, this government has a responsibility from day one because they're the ones that implement the laws and so forth and so on. So I take it above the record company head. Now, it's not just Juice that spit this stuff. There's been so many others, and even some who do spit it about it, but they don't even use it actually themselves. So for us,
it's just doing it
for us, it's one thing, but for the youth, they don't really sort out, you know, the real stuff from, you know, the fake stuff. You know, and that is the issue with music these days. There is no understanding of anything. Right. It's just like blah 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 blah. Sounds good, but what is blah 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 blah? It's nothing that you could communicate with and understand.
I agree.
You know, and then guess what? We do blah 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 stuff.
I agree.
You know,
and listen, it's sad, man. Listen, young brother. Life cut too short.
Son, brother, grandson, he was a friend, and his life was cut too short.
You know what hit me was that I was talking to Jeff, and Jeff said that was Justin, his son, was depressed, and he said that was my favorite rapper. Yeah. And I said, how deep that is. Rappers meant to me at 15. That's no seriously.
Yeah,
That's serious.
I was shocked when he said that too. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he's taken back. Yeah.
That's serious, man. Your favorite rapper died of a drug overdose?
You know, let's do a little counseling, or let's send you to a program. What do you think about it? We don't know. You know what I mean? Because
he just got on, Nico. So he's still new.
Yeah.
To the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He just got on within this year.
Yeah.
So it's like, it just took off. And then sometimes when you take off and now you're traveling, it's hard to, let's just say if it was your brother or your nephew, it's hard to get a hold because now they got all these shows, all these dates, all these photo shoots. It's hard to kind of get your, you know?
Right. Well, what you just said, his mother said also addiction knows no boundaries, and it beyond the person fighting it.
Yeah.
So his mother said.
Once your mind says I love this, it is really it's wow. It's you fighting against yourself, man. It's you fighting against yourself.
It's deep, man.
And
and we all could be addicted to all kinds of
I'm sure. I'll tell you this. I love Ray Nephew. I love Ray Nephew.
I love doing business.
No, I love
addicted to that.
Let me tell you something.
Serial entrepreneur.
No, listen, I love, and I was actually tapped on the shoulder recently by a gentleman who was visiting. He's about 7 years old, and he's really, he likes a specific drink, and I bought it for him, and I was doing some work in the house, and I bought his drink, and I bought my Ray Nephew. But then what happened is he said, "Yo man, which buy your chaser the aya?" And I said to him, "Chaser." So I was a big boy. Pour a little bit in it, and I just swing it back. Him said, "No, master, no do that." Him said, "Me there upon earth long time. That is something where we kill your cirrhosis of the liver." I said, "Wow," but I said, "I love it. It's my thing. I've been drinking it for a long time." He said, "That does not matter." I want to. Do I have an addiction? I guess my word for you. I love Ray Nephew, man. If you don't control yourself, where you can say, you know what, I might love this thing, but take it in moderation to the point where I practice stop doing what's harming me.
Right.
Whew, it's the mind. Conversation you could ever have in this world is the one with yourself, man. If you're not able to do that, man.
Oh my goodness. Listen. And we got 5 minutes left because we're about to get into a topic, and it's funny because we're going to talk about trafficking, kidnapping, using young girls as sex slaves.
Yeah.
My daughter, I got to pick my daughter up from dance at 8:30.
Okay.
And she don't want to take an Uber.
Okay.
Because of what's going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of
girls are going missing in Ubers.
That's right.
There was a woman the other day in
What states is this happening? It can't be New York.
Yeah.
This was in New York, yeah.
Yes. Yes. What is this, like 9 missing girls from the Bronx?
From the Bronx.
Not from Ubers, but just in general kidnapping.
Right.
So because, well, in general, kidnapping is one thing, but I want to give you a little hint with this old Uber thing. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of times, you understand, Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, the easy name to say, then you say Lyft. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, it's a cab situation, man. It's the individual that's driving the car. It's not an Uber or a Lyft.
And one thing I could say too, I just want to touch on.
Very heavy.
I know our time is limited. As parents, man, we gotta definitely set some boundaries on, our kids too. I be seeing these young girls, walking the streets with headphones on their ear.
Yeah.
They're not really
paying attention to anything else. Mindful,
paying attention to their surroundings.
Yeah.
So I believe that, don't let this situation be a
deterrent.
A
deterrent.
Yeah, but then there's also, you got the woman who she hops out of the guy is making these turns, hops out the Uber, and is able to get away before he pulled into the.
Wow, that's serious.
When they opened that bag, it was nothing but
parts.
Kidneys in there.
Parts. The other girl, I think you showed you. Somebody sent it to me on Facebook, but it was on the news. The girl jumped. The guy kidnapped her, put her at the gas station, put her in the trunk of her car. She remembered that her trunk had this latch. She found it and she pulled it and she hopped out of it. And the video shows her hopping out of the trunk of her own car.
That was actually on the news too. Yeah.
So, and she's a college student. It's like Alabama or something, and she's not from Alabama. And then I looked into it. Oh, the young girl in the Bronx, day before yesterday, got hit by a car. The guy tried to kidnap her. She runs into the street and the car hits her.
The car hits her, yeah. Because she was running the street to get some help.
To get away from the guy.
To get away from
car hits her.
So she could get everybody's attention. Hey, look, man, we just got to be mindful.
So my daughter's like, yo, I need you to pick me up. I don't want. After a certain time, my wife is like, certain time at night, I'm not putting. You got to go get her. Because with the Uber, and then what these guys are doing is, if it looks like you're waiting for Uber, they pull up as the Uber. Yeah, and you're not necessarily checking if that's the car. Yeah. And you just get in.
And it's not even your Uber.
Yeah. Then you realize too late, oh shoot, it's not my Uber, but Holmes got you.
Yeah. What he's saying, the mindful thing, man, you gotta be aware of your surroundings. You know, we this thing is happening and it hurts because it's like you say to yourself, like, where are we going now? You know, in life as a society.
Yeah.
You know, where are we going? And to me, the only answer is to understand that self is so important, because if the mind is not right, you will not be able to handle what's going to happen out there. Man.
Absolutely. Malik, we're going to bring light to it. Actually, when the new year comes in, all of the individuals, because when it comes to the light, it's not a big issue.
No.
But young black girls are missing. Yeah. Just in Rochdale, I'm from Rochdale Village.
Yeah.
The guys from Snow Gang, young guys are in jail for sex trafficking their own girls who grew up with them in the neighborhood.
Wow.
These guys are doing 20 to life, 25 to life because they were selling. Yo, we used to protect the girls that we grew up with. Yeah. They're taking their own girls who they grew up going to PS 80 with and IS 72 and they sex trafficking them, man. When my little brother told me that, it hurt me.
Wow.
So, listen. Conversations with Malik, man. We're here with my brother Nico. Nico, thanks for coming on.
It's a pleasure.
Great conversation. It's a pleasure. We're going to get him back. We're going to talk about some good topics. But I got to go and get my daughter. Absolutely. She ain't going to be one of those people. There you go. I'm here with my man Jeff Jones. Good to see you again. Yes, sir. And remember, we tell you how we always do. We love you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, man.
Peace.
Stay safe.